I hate Eggman.
Where's this? That light! I think it's trying to show me something.
Well, damn! Now we can play with Big. Hello everybody, this is the Devious Wolf and welcome back to another episode of Sonic Adventure. In the last one, we boarded Eggman's ship, beat Chaos 6, and promptly proceeded to chase him off the side of the ship. In this one, Sonic is proving that he doesn't need a trampoline to survive falls of immeasurable height. And now we're going to follow that light into this weird temple with an curiously Knuckles-shaped statue sitting out front of it. Wonder what that could mean. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lost Colony. As you've heard, the music in this level very much suits the overall feel of this particular stage. Honestly, and while I do love the music in this game, I love the music in Sonic Adventure in general, I feel like this is the only real level in which the music for it accurately describes the level as a whole, you know? I mean, we have Emerald Coast, which was fun, but if you really think about it, it's really just any other generic beach time level music. Still exceptional in my opinion, but you get where I'm coming from, right? Like you stuck it anywhere else, you probably get the same effect. This one, I feel like, even if you just stick it inside of like an ancient temple, like maybe inside a Tomb Raider game, it wouldn't be appropriate for a Tomb Raider temple, you know? Like this is like when I hear this, I think this is Sonic the Hedgehog right here. This is Sonic the Hedgehog being, you know, atmospheric and the like. Now, the Lost Colony in and of itself, as you've noticed, we've been riding around on a gigantic floating stone snake. This was the level that took me forever and a day to get to. So when I first played Sonic Adventure, I only ever played up to Ice Cap. I'm not kidding, I only ever played up to Ice Cap. I never really went any further because I don't really know. It might have been those things where I just got bored of the game real fast and just didn't want to come back to it, or maybe something got in the way, I don't know. I was playing a lot of Star Fox 64 at the time. But look at that JPEG in the background. But I got to the Stone Snake level and I'm like, this was the level that kind of made me think, I don't think this game's properly done right, you know? Like I had no concept of the term program or whatnot. But this was the game. This was the level, at least with the snake anyway. That made me think maybe this game is a lot more frustrating than I initially thought. I know some of the guys who have played this game for like months at a time are like, come on, man. This is when you figured it out. This right here. Well, yeah, you have to keep in mind. I was like, let's see, I think I was about 6 at the time. Wow, platforming. You gotta love it. But yeah, this was the level that made me think, not properly well done. But I just kind of, but being the kid I am, I just shrugged it off and kept on going. Now, and this is no. To move on from that little tangent and get back onto the Lost World. This, I feel like Sonic Adventure, more than any other Sonic game, did a lot to really build a world for Sonic. Because you think about it, oh come on now, we'll be dying on me all day long now. Dang! Gotta pick it up here. But if you think about it, the most gaming mascots there, well, they're generally cartoons, you know? Like back in this time period, back in the 90s, gaming mascots were cartoons. It wasn't until like the early 2000s that you got gaming mascots like the Master Chief or Kratos from God of War, or in Sony's instance, going off of Kratos, having like 50 different mascot characters and all of them different, and one of their mascot characters, Jak and Daxter, namely, going through a major overhaul in terms of their tone, and then going right back to it, trying to blend it. So, a bit of a side note here, if you have the electric shield going across this, it's going to be a very weird thing to look at. But yeah, most gaming icons were cartoon characters. Like, I often hear Mario credited as the Mickey Mouse of video games, and yeah, they'd be right. He is the Mickey Mouse of video games. Like, if you want to get rid of video games, you have to do something to Mario. That's essentially who Mario is. Like, Mario is the gaming character, and he's essentially a cartoon. But for Lost World, this Sonic Adventure anyway, and I'm glad they kept this up for subsequent Sonic games. This game more than anything kind of showed that Sonic Adventure, or at least video games in general, could have a world of their own. They could have a story of their own with a mythos and a history. Because if you think about it, this level has a lot going on in it for simply a level. There's a lot of stuff on here, and yes, from a game mechanic point of view, yeah, you can kind of explain it away as a game mechanic, duh. But you want to get more and more into it, like most people do, or anyone with a standard English degree, you could look into this as games kind of doing their own thing, as having a history within the game itself, having some kind of story, some kind of mystery to it, as it were. And it doesn't have to be just like a specific, like Tomb Raider. You see this stuff in Tomb Raider, it's like, oh yeah, this is just Tomb Raider. I'm playing through Tomb Raider. The sequence in a Sonic game is more like, okay, what are they trying to do here? And who knows? They could have been trying to do nothing but make an interesting level. But it's just kind of funny to think about that this is the game, at least in my eyes anyway, that really showed that you could do a lot more with a game than just simply make a level to go from level to level. Now that being said, it's still a fun level. Definitely not my favorite in the game.
Yes! Yeah, not bad. What's this? A mural. What's this place? Where am I? This is really weird.
Why did this have to happen? It's terrible. I must stop this now.
What was that all about? I don't think I'm dreaming here. Eggman! What's he doing here? Well, never mind. This time I'll get him good!
Yeah, let's go ahead and get him. Yeah, that was a really weird segment though, but before we go here, I want you to know something. You see this gigantic bridge? We are going into Eggman's nose. One big nose. But yeah, this is that was a very interesting segment, you know? And a woman who looks surprisingly like Knuckles and sounds a lot like the fairy in this nature. Now, if we look over here, we have what I assume to be Silver Sonic, I think. Can't really tell with the tint on his team, and I believe he's from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I'm going to say. And we have over here Metal Sonic, who is from Sonic CD, if I remember correctly. Fun fact, if you get all the medals, all the emblems in this game, you unlock the Metal Sonic skin. You might show that off, might not, you never know. And now for this puzzle. Oh, this puzzle. Gotta love this puzzle. How do I do this again? Yeah, if you're good at this, you could probably complete this puzzle in like a few attempts. I remember when I first did this puzzle, it was like it was a pain in the butt to do, you know? And I don't know why. It's just press a button in its order, you light up one switch, the switch next to it lights up, and there you go. Yeah, that's the gist of it. You hit one switch and the switch next to it lights up. That's all there is to it. And I don't know why I'm having such a trouble. What's the problem with this? And I've done this before. I thought there we go. You could probably do this in like 6 tries if you know what you're doing. I don't know. welcome to the final egg. As you may have guessed from the title, this is the last level in the game for Sonic. Fun fact about this game, there's about 11 stages in this game. Sonic goes to 10 of them. Yeah, Sonic goes to all but one of the stages. And I will be mentioning that stage when we get to it. This is odd. I've never done this before. Yeah, final eight. This is Sonic's last level, which means we're getting down to the wire here. Oh, that's where it's in. Okay, get it back right there. Go right here. Go right here. Not much to really say about this game except the stage, other than the fact that it's a Robotnik stage. What do you really expect from a Sonic game? The last level of this game, in which Robotnik plays a main role in, it should be a Robotnik stage. It just makes the most sense. Kind of running low on things to say here. I guess right now I can talk about. I want to talk about Sonic and Mario's 3D jumps. As most people know, this is not Sonic's first attempt at a 3D game. I think before this was Sonic 3D Blast, a cancelled title called Sonic Extreme, which looked really weird from the test footage I've seen of it, and Sonic the Fighters, which wasn't really a Sonic game per se, it's more a fighting game. Hence the name Sonic the Fighters. I think you can find it on the PlayStation Network and XBLA now. I don't really remember. Never got it, don't really think I want to, but Sonic Adventure is pretty much Sonic's, well, I say pretty much, it is Sonic's first successful jump in the 3D. And I completely forgot those hammers actually do hurt. Yeah, it's Sonic's first successful jump into 3D. At the time, the only other 3D platforming game was, well, Mario 64, and I think pretty much everyone, if not most everyone, knows what what Mario 64 is. It's the platforming game that gave us a free moving camera. Yeah. That was the free moving camera with the analog sticks and whatnot. Originally it was just 4 face buttons, but Mario was the one who introduced the 3D camera, as well as the rumble feature for Star Fox 64. Sonic, by comparison, hasn't really done anything like that. I think the only thing Sega's done, and I think is the one thing I've mentioned like 5 times already, is that they've done online play beforehand, or at least the ability to purchase games off an online marketplace. But a lot of stuff that we have nowadays, in terms of like basic stuff like controlling the camera and the rumble feature, it's a Nintendo innovation. And I think it's fair to bring up that while these two are very good games, and while Mario 64 will pretty much be the platforming game a lot of people consider to be the platforming game, I honestly think that Sonic Adventure is actually a better platformer than Mario 64, and I will tell you that in a second. But the first things first, catch up a little fun thing I like to do for things. Here and I love doing this. You don't get nothing for it besides points, but I like doing it regardless. But yeah, I do consider Sonic Adventure to be the better of the two, just in terms of how much fun I have with it. Because for Mario 64, you have very fun levels, yes, but you go through the same level about 8 times if you want 100% it. Now, if you don't want 100% it, you go through about, I think it's 4 to 3 times at max if you want to just complete the game, but about beating it for anything. Which, you know, it's fine. You just want to beat the game, but but I think most people generally tend to 100% Mario games. So it's a excuse me. So it's what am I trying to say here? I'm not trying to say Mario 64 is bad. I'm just trying to say that it's repetitive. That's what it is. Mario 64 is very repetitive. If you're going to pick up a Mario, you don't pick up and play Mario 64, you're pretty much playing a basic game without much going on in it. And there's no narrative in a Mario game. It's just Princess Peach has been captured, you gotta save her. What do you do? For Sonic, you get a little bit more than that. For Sonic Adventure, you get a decent story that I equate to pretty much a Saturday morning cartoon, which is fun for me because I love Saturday morning cartoons. And while it is a linear game, you are going from point A to point B. It's still fun the time you have to get there. You don't have to worry about each level wearing itself thin. That means that you can go through each level multiple times and you can get a different loop every single time. Mario 64, and I would argue pretty much any Mario to this day, you're pretty much going to the same level like 5 different times. Now look over here, there's a Sonic face, you may have wings. I'm not going too close to his magnetic shield, but that's a little Easter egg if you go up here. But yeah, Mario games, while they are fun, I cannot say that Mario games are bad. They are objectively very good games, and you can have a lot of fun with them. They get very boring for me very fast because there's no variety for it, at least for me anyway. Because once you play the same level to like 3 times, it just loses its fun factor. And that's just me personally. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who love Mario games and probably tell me a reason why I'm wrong. And feel free to. I wouldn't mind seeing what keeps people coming back to a Mario game. But for me, not a lot going on.
Yes! Yeah, not bad.
Well, if it isn't my pal Sonic, I'm surprised you made it this far.
Hold it right there, Eggman.
Welcome to the final boss of Sonic's story and Sonic Adventure, the Egg Viper. What you know about the Egg Viper is that he's going to do this little laser thing, he's going to say a couple lines, just wait for the sound, you can outrun it or just jump over it, and you'll be fine. When he does this right here, do that, and there you go. Not a very difficult boss, but the one thing you keep in mind about the Egg Viper is that Eggman changes tactics a lot with this boss fight. Like as the fight goes on and as he loses health, he's gonna start doing different attacks, different tricks before getting to the main event. Now I've never had this attack go off on me, at least not that I remember. But you can pretty much beat this boss without ever getting hit if you know what you're doing. Because I just said that I'm probably going to end up getting hit. More than like I am, because there's one attack he does that I have a hard time dodging. Not that one. You'll see it. You will see it.
See if we can make it through this.
So yeah, the Egg Viper. Yet another reason why I wish Sega got into the toy business. So between the Egg Carrier and the Egg Viper and just several other of Eggman's mechs, just throughout Sonic games. Oh, here's the attack. Yeah, I always get that by that attack. But yeah, these are some pretty decent. Like, let me ask you something. Would you guys say no to having models like this, like the ones from Sonic Adventure and I guess any other Sonic game in which there's a mech in it? Because I really wanted to have one of these growing up. It would have been so much fun. But, you know, can't have everything. And now he's getting rid of the other platform, so down to the end game. Gonna do this Beyblade trick another time. Just gonna jump, hit him, and go from there. Honestly, and I feel like this kind of goes without saying, while Sonic boss fights have never been the most difficult, they're definitely the most interesting fight that I ever get.
Watch out! He's up to something.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
Well, that's the end of Sonic's portion of Sonic Adventure. We still got 5 more characters left to crack through, but thankfully they're not as long as Sonic's playthrough. As I said before, there are about 11 stages in Sonic Adventure, and Sonic goes through all but one of them. So I like how at the end of it, at the end of the story mode, where you see Sonic and Tails running through Mystic Ruins, you kind of see their mouths moving at this. Well, you do see their mouths moving. I like to think of that as them kind of recapping their journey, seeing how things differed, how they saw it, how they experienced things, and the things that they experienced getting up to that point, and just kind of sharing things like you know how friends do when they've done like a big party or a road trip or something like that. But that's just me personally. The main thing I want to get to is that for Sonic's, keep in mind this is Sonic's first successful attempt at jumping into 3D, and I think it still holds up. Now that could be the what's the word? That could be the nostalgia in me looking at the rose-tinted glasses, but I still think it holds up very well for $5 anyway on the XBLA marketplace. It's a pretty good buy. You know, Sonic's gameplay is still solid. still holds up. The camera is going to be an issue, yes. And this game is somewhat buggy. I think the big one was at the beginning with Emerald Coast. But outside of that, there haven't been too many bugs. Most, if not all, of the deaths I've had have been because I missed time to jump, or because I overlooked how big a jump was, or just me doing something stupid. So for the most part, it is on you if you die inside the game. For the most part. Beyond that, I think the most important thing to note is that for a first step, for like a blueprint of how to do it going forward, you can see where current Sonic games get a lot of the inspiration from. How you get through the level may change, and the levels themselves may twist and turn in different ways, but for the most part, it usually harkens back to Sonic Adventure for the most part. At least the games I've played. I have not played every single Sonic game out there, or Sonic game that's licensed by Sega, but I played a good number of them. And I can say without any hint of irony or any bias, I like to think that Sonic has definitely improved over the years. He has had his stumbles, he has had his missteps. Everyone knows the big one, and I think you have a new big one that just came out like 2 years ago. But for the most part, Sonic's been pretty solid. The only thing I would like to see Sega do with Sonic is just really stick with a formula, you know, like give a formula some time to age. Because this version of Sonic, this Sonic gameplay has lasted a decent number of games. It most certainly has. And now, I guess now, for final thoughts, I should just say, pick it up, give it a shot, see how you like it, and I will see you for the next one.